Okay. Have you ever admired somebody's homemade scarf and thought that it would be really neat to be able to make something like that, but it just looks too painstakingly difficult? Well, I'm here to share with you that it's easier than you think. I'm going to teach you how to arm knit. First, I'm going to discuss the necessary supplies. Second, I am going to show you how to arm knit by casting on, knitting, and casting off. And third, I'm going to share some variation ideas for your scarf. So first, your supplies, you'll need 2 skeins of the same yarn that you're going to be using with a bulky size of at least 5. I'm going to pass these around so you guys can kind of see. And this is a finished product you can pass around. Second, you need at least 30 minutes to complete the project. You need a medium-sized crochet hook and a pair of scissors. Actually, those were my supplies. Second, I'm going to show you how to arm knit. So you're going to take your yarn, put your 2 ends together of your 2 skeins, and you're going to measure out a tail. And it's about shoulder width 3 to 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to hang that on your arm, and you're going to cross it over, and you're going to make a slip knot. So you're going to grab the yarn from behind and pull this yarn over, and it makes a slip knot. You're going to slide that onto your right arm. So now you have your tail and your working yarn that's connected to your skeins. So your working yarn goes on the right side of your thumb, and your tail goes on the left side of your index finger. And you're going to wrap your other fingers around the bottom of the yarn. And when you pull it down, it should make like a V. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand and you're going to go under the right side of your thumb. You're going to grab the right side of your index finger and you're going to pull. And it makes like a loop. And you're going to slide that over your right hand. And you're going to repeat that, and this is casting on. You're making your stitches. You make your loops, and you put them on your arm. So you make as many stitches. This creates the width of your scarf. So once you've got your desired amount of stitches, you're ready to knit. So you can just drop your tail, and now you're only working with your working yarn. So you grab your working yarn with your right hand, where you have all your stitches, and you pull the front loop over and you drop it, and it creates another loop. You slide that onto your left arm. So again, you grab your working yarn, slide the loop over, and slide your left hand through that loop. And you're going to repeat that until you've moved all of your stitches from your right arm to your left arm. And that's the knitting part. And you repeat that process from arm to arm until you have moved, or until you have created the length of your scarf. I do my wingspan, and that allows the scarf to wrap around nicely twice. So once you've created the length that you want for your scarf, you're ready to cast off. So casting off is a lot like the knitting process. You move stitches over, only you're going to be working with only 2 stitches at a time. So I have 1, 2. So you're going to take the back stitch and move it over the front stitch and drop it. Grab your working yarn and you move another stitch over, and you do this until you have only 1 stitch left. So you take the 2 stitches, take the back stitch, move it over the front stitch, and then you have 1 stitch left. Then you're ready to cut your yarn, and you take your end piece and you pull it through and you pull it tight to make a knot. Then you can cut it, or you take your end piece and you just weave it through with your crochet hook through the end, and you would have a straight scarf. So third, I'm going to share some variations for ideas for your scarf. You can take the two ends and the tail and put them together, and you can weave the tail through the two ends of the scarf and make an infinity scarf, like the one that's being passed around. Or another idea is that you could make it wider, so more stitches on your arm and not as long, so it only goes around once, and that would be like a cowl instead of a scarf. There's a book at Barnes & Noble's, it's called Knitting Without Needles, and it has a lot of great ideas to use arm knitting for different things. To review, I've taught you how to arm knit. I've discussed the necessary supplies. I've showed you how to arm knit by casting on, knitting, and casting off. And I've shared some variations on the ideas of your scarf. You can also use different yarns like you see in the background, which give different textures to your yarn. So now you can make your own yarn that somebody else can admire. Thank you. Your own yarn, your own scarf.